Did you think that the more you train, the more you build muscle? Well, that is a lie, because a lot of people get calisthenics completely wrong when it comes to building muscle. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you the common myths that you need to avoid if you actually want to build muscle. So this video is going to ensure you that you do build muscle, such as my members inside the Jacked by Calisthenics blueprint that you see on the screen right now. If you want to be a part of them, go to the top link in the description. Myth number 1, you need to be advanced to do calisthenics. If you are a beginner right now, I actually have good news for you. You have an advantage to most of us. If you are fat, very out of shape, you're extremely weak, or a beginner, you have an advantage. That means that you are going to be seeing the most results with calisthenics. The thing about calisthenics is that you cannot change the weight that you're doing calisthenics with, as opposed with weightlifting. With weightlifting, you can pick any dumbbells, any type of plates, whatever exercises you're doing, you can pick the weight. With calisthenics, I'm sorry, bro, but you're not going to be picking the weight that you're doing a push-up with. You have your body weight and that's it. You cannot decrease it. You can increase it, but if your body weight is too heavy, you cannot decrease the weight that you're doing it with. You can make the variations easier, but the original push-up stays as hard as it is right now. So that's unfortunate, right? Well, actually, the common belief is that now, because you're weak at push-ups, you can't build muscle with them. Well, the thing is, better you are at push-ups, the harder it becomes to progress. So if you are in a stage where it's very hard to do them, you are going to be seeing the most push-up progression. You are going to be seeing the most chest progression, and you are going to be seeing the most progression in muscle building and strength in general. So that's the common myth that most people believe in. Calisthenics is only for advanced people. When it comes to the pull-up, if you are not able to do a pull-up yet, how much gains do you think is going to come from starting to do pull-ups? How many gains do you think is going to come from starting to do dips? How many gains are going to come from starting to do push-ups and squats and elevated pike push-ups? All these exercises that are quote-unquote advanced. The truth is, they're not for advanced people. They are exercises for everyone, but for certain people, they're just harder. But if they are harder for you than for other people, then you are going to be seeing faster results with it for your body and your level. So if you are that beginner, and if you are that guy in the stage of skinny, where you're literally trying to get out of, calisthenics is your best option, hands down. Not no weightlifting, powerlifting, or CrossFit. Calisthenics is going to be your best option. So that's why I'm here for you. I want you to join Jacked by Calisthenics and help you personally, bro. This is my program, my blueprint program, that I'm still, by the way, expanding every single week to be able to help the members in there gain muscle within 6 months time. If you are that individual who is looking to gain muscle reliably every single week and learn calisthenics throughout the process of it, go to the top link in the description, ask all of your questions in there, work out with the training programs, and actually take notes in the modules. I'll see you inside very soon, and you're going to be changing your life. Let's get into it. Myth number 2, and that is training to failure with calisthenics is useless. Well, the thing is, that's all that calisthenics athletes know. When you take a look at gym athletes who are doing planches, who are doing push-ups, dips, pull-ups, Malteses, front levers, back levers, they know nothing but failure training. The reason why is because certain variations, and this is, by the way, the same for less good of athletes. When it comes to calisthenics athletes, gymnasts are the top of the fucking chain, right? When it comes to you and me, certain variations are going to be very hard for us to do, which is going to be beneficial for us to gain muscle. Why? Because the moment when you try a very difficult variation is the moment when you're going to be experiencing failure, or you're not going to be able to do it, or you're going to be able to do a couple of reps of it and then you're going to fail doing a rep because you now know that this variation is actually too hard for you. But we can also use this in our advantage to say, you know what? Because this exercise is so hard and because I can only do 6 reps of it and then I hit failure right away, let me do this exercise for that reason. I am now in a perfect hypertrophic rep range to build muscle. This is exactly the reason why I believe why it's more effective to build muscle with calisthenics than with weights, especially as a beginner and intermediate. And then when you're advanced, you actually become more knowledgeable about the sport, and then you learn and know how to build muscle even faster and quicker and become way stronger. This is exactly the reason why I'm unpopular opinion, but the reason why I think calisthenics is more effective for muscle growth than weightlifting is because you are not able to do calisthenics as a beginner, and that is exactly why you're going to be progressing. That's exactly what I mentioned in myth number 1. So if you, for example, go from a normal push-up to a, elevated pike push-up, which is insanely difficult. Let's say you could do 3 reps of it, and at the 4th rep, you can't do a rep no more. You have just experienced failure. When you start to progress in that and you start to up your reps slightly every single week or month, depending on how fast you go, you start to build muscle in your shoulders throughout that process. And this is the exact reason why I've been building muscle so insanely quickly for the last 4 months. This is exactly what you're going to be doing as well when you join Jacked by Calisthenics. This is exactly the method, exactly the blueprint that I explained. That's it. It is better than weightlifting. Roast me all you want. It is better. The second thing I wanted to actually point out is that it's actually more difficult to build muscle with weights in the early stages because training to failure is easier achieved with calisthenics. When you are doing weightlifting as a beginner, you can go easy on yourself. Now, what do I mean with that? You can pick a dumbbell and do dumbbell bicep curls with a weight that you can do easy 10 reps with, and then you stop at the 10th rep because your online personal trainer who rips you $2,000 out of your pocket, as opposed to just joining a $100 blueprint to go from skinny to jacked, is actually telling you to do 10 reps, but you grab a weight that is too easy for you. So the reason why you're actually not making progress with weights as fast as you could with calisthenics is because you're going easy on yourself. And with calisthenics, there's no cheating. There's no way out. It's always going to be difficult. When you're doing a push-up, you're doing a push-up. You cannot decrease the weight of a push-up. You cannot decrease your body weight. You cannot decrease the difficulty of a pull-up. The pull-up is a pull-up. Try a pull-up right now if you can't do any. Is it hard? I bet it is, because you can't do any and you can't change it. You can't decrease your body weight to be able to do a pull-up. Of course, you can modify it and make it easier for your current level to be able to work up to the pull-up, which is everything that I teach on this channel. But if you are just looking at the plain version of the exercise, it's not going to be possible to decrease your weight or make it easier that way. So if you want to build muscle with it, you're going to have to try and train extremely hard, which is why, in my opinion, it is more reliable. And that is exactly what I preach on this channel. So if you're that type of guy, subscribe. Now let's go into myth number 3, and that is building muscle with calisthenics is only possible with high volume. So the reason why most people say this is because they think that when you look at the push-up, the dip, the pull-up, the squat, which is the, the big 4 of calisthenics, you can only build muscle with those exercises if you go extremely high in reps, because for a lot of people, they are too easy, is what they say. A lot of people who have already gone to the gym for quite a long time, they do push-ups, and it's, a push-up could be quite easy for them, which is for most people, it's quite easy for the average gym bro just to do a 1 push-up. So they think like, oh, if I do 12 reps with this, it's going to be not enough. Not knowing how to progress with a push-up properly. You see me doing push-ups on the screen right here. The reason why I've been able to build muscle with that is because this is not the plain normal push-up. I don't do normal 12 reps of push-ups, regular normal reps. Of course I don't. The reason why I don't is because normal push-ups, 12 reps, is going to be indeed too hard. But 12 reps of weighted ring push-ups or weighted ring fly push-ups or decline push-up with weight is going to be way difficult. So the only general belief that people think like, oh, you can only go to like 50 reps and build a little bit of muscle with it, they don't know that you should increase the difficulty of the push-up or the pull-up or the dip or the squat or the row to be able to gain muscle with it in a good rep range, such as in between 6 to 12. Because 6 to 12 is, in my opinion, always very reliable to gain muscle. And that's the same with calisthenics as opposed to with weights. But the bro athletes, they don't understand that you should change the exercise completely to be able to go from skinny to jacked. But no worries, because if you do not actually know how to go from skinny to jacked with calisthenics training, and you do not know exactly what progressions to use to go from weak to absolutely fucking strong, I have became in my 7-year journey. I am here to help you personally with my 30 modules, my 4-hour plus blueprint, and my 3 12-week programs that are all linked in the description in the top link, which is one cohesive blueprint where you're going to be getting everything. If you click the top link in the description, every single detail is going to be laid out in there. Watch the video when you land on the page, and you're actually going to be building muscle within 6 months time. So if you are the type of guy who is finally looking to go from skinny to jacked with calisthenics training and learn calisthenics properly to build muscle, go to the top link in the description and see what is in store for you. We have 6 months left to 2025. If you want to be making that transformation before 2026, go to the top link in the description, and this is where it's going to be happening. I'll see you inside. Then let's go to myth number 4. High reps don't build muscle. Now, even though I just said like that most people understand calisthenics completely wrong, and they think that you need to go extremely high in reps to build muscle because they don't know that you should increase the difficulty in and of itself. Well, there is actually a bunch of ways to build muscle with high rep training because I did it myself. I did exactly what I'm showing you right here myself. I went from looking like this skinny fucking twig to being quite jacked within like 2 or 3 years. I was 16 years old back then with high rep and high volume style calisthenics training, and it was street workout only, body weights, and that was it. So the reason why it does work is because I was actually doing it pretty proper. Right now I could do it a little bit better if I thought about it, but back then I was also doing it quite good. So you can actually do that like that. So you can actually build muscle with calisthenics in the high rep fashion if you want to and if you do it correctly. But the correct way of doing it, in my opinion, is by not going above 35 reps. 35 should be the limit, and in that 20 to 35 rep range where you're going to be working in is you want to be basically picking a variation where you can hit around 35 reps and then actually actually increase the exercises, the difficulty over time again, and then max it out to another 35 reps. Now, you're going to be years down the line trying to progress each and every exercise with trying to complete 35 reps per exercise. The reason why this is so effective is because studies have actually shown that the real hypertrophic rep range is realistically in between 4 and 35 reps. So the reason why we want to actually utilize that if we want to train high reps is so that we can still build muscle just like we would with the 8 to 12. The only thing that I have to warn you, you need some extra things for this. One, you need a different type of mindset. To go from 12 reps to 35 reps per set takes a lot of mental strength, and you need to be able to extend your pain barrier like an insane amount. Second thing, you need a bunch of endurance. So if you actually are used to 8 reps or something like that and you now go to 35, you're probably going to catch yourself stopping because your lungs are just out of breath. Your breath capacity is not matching up to your muscles. So you're going to have to practice that as well. So that is something that I do want you to keep in mind when you're going to switch to high rep training if you ever want to. Right now, I do not even recommend you to do that, but if you are that type of athlete who wants to do that, then that would be the best way of doing it. Myth number 5, you can't use weights because you're a calisthenics athlete. You need to stay loyal to calisthenics, bro. Listen, the reason why this is absolutely bullshit, and the reason why I made a couple of analogies a few videos back on this topic, is because people do not understand why calisthenics athletes, smart calisthenics athletes, use weights to get better at calisthenics. When you are playing a sport, let's say football, and you're going to be squatting on the side to get better at football, does that make you not loyal to football? Or does that make you extremely loyal to football because you're using other things to become better at it? Exactly. Same thing with calisthenics. If you want to become a better rider, and the best rider on earth tells you to do something else to get better at riding, are you going to do that? Probably, because you want to get better at riding. So that's exact same thing we should apply to calisthenics. If you want to become better at calisthenics, we should use weights, because sometimes weights can be used in such a way where we can use them to get better at calisthenics. So do that to get better at calisthenics. It is very easy and very easy to actually understand and to utilize and to mix into your training routine. Now, if you want to actually do this yourself and implement it, I have a full module, which is on the screen right here, a full lesson, basically a full course on hybrid calisthenics and how to do it properly and how to progress with it week by week. So if you want that, top link in the description. Now, you made it to the end of this video, which is why I think you're in the top 1% of calisthenics athletes trying to build muscle, which is why you're the perfect fit for Jacked by Calisthenics, my personal program and blueprint that takes you from skinny to jacked within 6 months time. Go ahead and join right now, and I'll see you inside. And also watch this video right here if you want to know how to train properly to be able to prevent you from stagnating in your muscle growth with calisthenics.